Good afternoon, or is it evening? Yeah, it should be evening because uh, the day is ending. How are you? How are you? Um, I just finished the live on the other side, so I thought, you know what? Let me just carry on whilst whilst I'm here, because literally the only thing I'm gonna do now is have some champagne because wow, it is roughies. It is rough times. So I'm busy having my favorite. I haven't been able to have much champagne, but then last night I did. I went out last night and it was so good. I really had a good time. So you will join me. You can have your tea, you can have whatever you want. I am having verve. So I'm opening this. And the trick to opening a bottle of champagne is to twist and not force the don't force the cork. So how are you guys? How are you? How are you doing? Um, I got a DM. Somebody said to me, Amanda, you know, it you're a bit confusing sometimes because you say you're heartbroken but you are dancing. So how does that work? I literally just laughed. Cheers. I'm like, you can be heartbroken and still live your life, right? Oh man. I am, yeah, please, no pop pop, no no loud noises, please, no. Hello from Netherlands. Hi. So yeah, I mean, cheers, everybody. Ah, yes, thank you. Oh well, I'm glad you were hoping I'd come on. I'm here. I'm here. But yeah. So listen, I've been having such a hard time, with my bestie being sick. But the one thing I know how to do is to live in compartments. you know I'm in a compartment where it's me and my friend. I'm really sad, I'm heartbroken, but even in that moment I'm still laughing, I'm still living life. Because I'm not the person that because I'm sad then everything must stop around me, because it just feels like I'm shortchanging myself and shortchanging my life. So I am that person that even if I am having a hard time, I'm still gonna find a way to live through it and acknowledge it. Absolutely. Hello. Hi from the US. Hello. Hi from Namibia. Hello. I'm coming to Namibia in September to do a speaking engagement. My first speaking engagement in Namibia. I'm really excited. But it is booked by one of the large corporates there, so I don't think it's open to the public. But in any event, I'll still be there. So I'm really looking forward to that. Yeah, and also I wanted to tell you that we also now have books in Botswana. So all the people that have emailed us to order books, baked in pain books for Botswana, they must go for it. I will actually also do a stories post and tag the lady that will be distributing them. So cheers everybody, cheers. I hope that even in the hardship you still find a way to carry on. So, and yes, books in Botswana. Yeah, I've just answered that. So yeah, even in the midst of hardship, um, it's still so important that we live. That we carry on living, because this is I think even our loved ones would want us to do that. So I laugh when I mean, leading up to yesterday I wasn't having much champagne, but I literally could hear my friend's voice saying to me, come on, you do you, boo boo. What good does it do? So yeah, I really had a and it's still hard, but I'm carrying on. That's what she wants anyway, and that's what I want. So I'm not a person that dwells in the doldrums and then everything else must stop. No, because I'm still gifted the opportunity to live. So to live English, let me tell you, those are the two words that, no, it's actually not the only ones. Those two words always confuse me. Live and live. I'm just like, every time I have to pronounce them, I'm like, think first. Live and live. And okay, live is fine, but because that's how you write it. But also, in South Africa, we've got, and I think Namibia also has, KOK is a last name, so that's Kok. But I struggle to pronounce it and to pronounce this thing here, this thing, a Kok, and then the other big people's thing. So English is not an easy language. It's so hard. Because everything is just like, you have to think, okay. I really struggle. There's some words I'm just like, and the one thing I use every single day of my life is a dictionary. And I mean, I use it online now. I don't use the physical one anymore, but online, I always have spelling things and meanings of words open. It was so embarrassing. The one time I actually said that to one of my colleagues, his last name is KOK. And I said it as though it was the other one, the big people's one. And the big people's thing. I saw him turning red and I was like, oh, damn it, I didn't get it right. And he was so cool about it. He literally played a joke on me. He was like, yeah, I'm that too. But because he's a gentleman, he's like, I'm that too. But actually, I am Kok. Yo, I cake. Oh, whew. It gets very difficult. And that leads me to this notion that if you speak the best English, then you are deemed successful and a high achiever. And the truth is that I don't think so. It's a tough language, so we can't expect anyone to be getting it right. It's not even my mother tongue, to be honest. You guys are killing me. Yeah, so those are my struggles every day, is how to pronounce some of these English words. And I have so many of them. It's so hard. But I always have to laugh at myself. Otherwise I'll die from stress. Anyway, so yeah, I thought let me just pop in and say hello, because I mean I was live and doing something and I'm just chilling. I'm not even cooking tonight. I bought some takeouts. Well, I went to a restaurant, got some good food. Hubby's not around, so I have one less person to entertain, so I've got time. Even though I mean, I just wanted to actually just sit and just be, and that's pretty much what I'm doing tonight. It's been quite a hectic period, and I'm still having quite a hectic month, and well into September, in fact, with everything. And I have started the final preparations for my Uplifting branch in November. It is quite insane that when I announced the ticket sales back in November last year, I think it was November, yes, they sold out quite quickly, and now, literally, that was a year ago when those tickets sold out, and now we are just a mere 3 months away from the event. It's insane. So this is the thing with time, is that time really flies by, and it is it's my son was saying the other day, Mama, I can't believe that the year is almost over, and this year just started. In fact, it still feels like 2020 never ended. It's just like one continuum. Thank you very much. Top Drawer Collection sent me this. It's viscose, guys. Oh, it's so good on my skin. It's amazing. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's got 95% viscose and 5% elasticity. So it's just perfect. Yeah. You're getting your attire ready for November. Hey, Kia. Yeah, I unfortunately cannot say whether I'll be able to release more tickets or not because, um, you know, we have to work within the parameters of legislation around the virus situation. So unfortunately, I cannot make that commitment. But if there is room for that, it will happen, and you will be the first ones to know. I know I get a lot of people sliding into my DMs and say to me, "Oh, please, can I be the first one to know?" I'm like, yo, that's like me treating my children differently. I'm like, you'll know, you'll all know at the same time. That's what I always say to my children. I'm like, "Ooh, guys, I have a favorite child. Come, let me tell you." And then they come running. I'm like, "You're my favorite child. You're my favorite child. You're my favorite child. All three of you are my favorite children." But yeah, so when I do have extra tickets, I will, if there is even an opportunity. I doubt it. So I don't want to get your hopes up high. Now, man, the thing with the November event is that you have to experience it physically, you know. You have to be there and immerse yourself in the experience. And I am just so excited. There's quite a few announcements that I'm going to be making over the next couple of weeks leading up to it. And I'm just so energized to be looking forward to that, because we've had quite a time, and really the one thing I would love to do is to just get together with people and have a good laugh, have amazing conversations. The theme is being uplifted. So I really look forward to being able to uplift, you know, our spirits and just connect and have good food and good drinks and conversations and get to meet people. There's so many people I've met from the event that have become, you know, really good friends, and we've done some work together. So and I know that there are a lot of people who also connected with others and they've been doing business together as well. So it's a great platform. You know, and yeah, so I look forward to it. Style Articulated says, "I was part of the organizing team that invited you at Nedbank for In Conversation series. You were great." Oh, thank you so much. I really enjoyed that. I actually have 2 more Nedbank events to do. 2 more. So they're keeping me busy. Actually, almost every year I speak at Nedbank. I want different divisions. I really love it. Thank you so much. There's I do a lot of speaking for corporates. I don't always publicize them or talk about them because, I mean, it's privately booked things. It's not that I'm under any NDA not to say anything about it, but it's just not what I do. I'm a pro, baby. I'm a professional. I don't go around screaming. But some, you know, they actually they ask me to say something about it. And I usually say, check how much they paid and then decide if I'll say something or not. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you. Guys, it doesn't matter how much you beg me to reconsider about the tickets. If COVID rules say you can't have more than 50% capacity of the venue, then there's nothing I can do, even if I want to, you know. Of course I want you to. But I'm telling you now, I'm going to announce tickets in November for the following year. If you don't jump on the bandwagon, you can't then keep coming and begging me to do it, because unfortunately it's we have to follow government regulations. So So in as much as I would absolutely love to, I probably won't be able to, you know. So Nkosi, guys, thank you so much for your kindness and your kind words. Thank you. Then I must book a bigger venue. Wow, you're quite demanding, aren't you? You should have bought the ticket. Yeah, listen, let's hope something changes in by the time we have the event, or at least leading up to the event, and then we can we'll definitely announce that. So if rules change, then fabulous. We go big, baby. We go big. I mean, we already, you know, the number we had in mind was 250. So we're now just managing that to make sure that we don't exceed the regulation. Otherwise, you know what happens? They will arrest me. So, and if they arrest me, think about what happens to you. Then I won't be here to entertain you. Oh, and listen, let me not say much more, because just now I start divulging some exciting details about the event. But yeah, so I look forward to it. I have great speakers lined up. I mean, just amazing people, and really encouraging topics. Kawa, guys, this is, I was on the Lancome Live. What an eye-opening conversation. Thank you. You're in Malawi. Hello. I would love to come to Malawi. Oh my Lord. I would love. Listen, there's quite a few places that I can visit. Sorry, somebody says I can broadcast from jail. It's something new. So you don't care about me. You actually care about the fact that I can still broadcast for you, to you from jail. That's actually funny. Thank you. All right, let me see if you have questions. Otherwise, I'll pop out and chill by myself over here and have what day is it? Thursday. Okay, I watch Survivor. So I'll be watching Survivor later. I really love it. I enjoy it. To me, it is mindless TV, because there's some days where I'm just like, I need something that is not heavy. It's just, I really don't know how they do Survivor. Yo, so many lies and, and treachery. I was just like, yo, no ways, I can't do that. But I like to watch that. One of the things I also started watching during, you know, when I just want something that, and I don't watch a lot of TV, but there's programs that I'll want to watch because I think, okay, you know, this is something I can like just not use my brain too much for. I remember the Bachelorette South Africa. Oh my gosh, I love her so much. She's so cute. And I love the fact that actually I started watching that with my husband. And one time I was watching and I was just killing myself laughing. And he comes and says, "What are you watching?" I said, "The Bachelorette." He's like, what? I'm like, yeah. I loved the fact that those guys make such fools of themselves for a change, and it's not the women running after guys making like little puppies. So I absolutely loved it, because I would floor myself looking at these guys, and I'm like, it's about time the scales were flipped. Now I know it's been there in the US, but I mean, it's the first time I started watching it when we got the South African one, and I can't think of a better Bachelorette, in fact, than Goniso as the first one. Unati was saying on her post today that she needs, her kid said she needs to go on the Bachelorette or something. I like, that would be so much fun. I think they would quit, because they would quit, because that woman she knows what she wants, and I just love her energy. Absolutely. So yeah, I There are things I do watch just because I'm just like, yo, okay. All right, let's see, guys. I think there's a question here. Dr. Kwezimfeka says, how many countries have you visited around Africa and what's your two favorites? I've visited, now I need to just count. Probably, it's not enough, but probably 12 countries. To me, guys, Senegal just did something to me that I didn't understand. It was just moving. I feel like the place just connected with my soul so much, so much. I really loved Senegal. And you know, I think it doesn't matter where I go, you know, as long as I have something to learn and I've got something to experience that's different. And you know, I was telling my kids the other day, we were at a breakfast with, and I mentioned it in my other life, we had a breakfast with my kids and our family, in fact, my kids and my husband, and we started talking about careers and you know what they're passionate about and what they want to do, and one of the things that I always encourage is that they must explore. And I told them that, by the way, when I studied social sciences, I majored in social anthropology because one of the things I wanted to do was travel the world and go to remote areas and learn about cultures and understand how people live and you know what their systems are, how their systems are constructed. And so they in fact I answered that because the question was, Mama, are you doing what you studied for? And I said, actually, it's strangely enough, I am living what I studied for. That's why I travel so much. And for me, when I'm not traveling, I feel sick. I feel like my life is at a standstill. So this period of lockdowns has been really difficult for me personally because I live to travel. Literally, I live to experience different countries, different people, different cultures. I'm not a big foodie person, so I don't go wanting to taste food, which is very strange for someone who's so adventurous. It doesn't matter where I go, I just want them to give me chicken. So yeah, what did I enjoy about Senegal the most, or what did we do in Senegal? I love the hospitality of the Senegalese people is second to none. And incredible, enterprising women. I mean, we went to visit so many businesses and all owned by women. And women owning, you know, we went to one where the building is owned by this woman. She's got a spa at the top, a boutique on the side, a little cafe on the side, you know, like very enterprising. And the women there are just, they carry this quiet power, and they just carry themselves in such an amazing fashion in terms of their enterprising mindset. And I really loved that. I really did. And then we went to the Pink Lake. We went up to the monument. Okay, wait, don't kill me. I just forgot. Like I just went blank. Because you're asking me all these tough questions, but it's ours, man. They wait. Please tell me, remind me in Dakar up there, all those stairs, so many of them. Anyway, so I love how they are so they've got this power that seemingly it doesn't look like they have to explain it to anyone. It's implied in how things are. Yes, please. Thank you very much. The monument, Renaissance monument, and you know, it's, thank you. I told them I got them from Top Drawer Collection. Thank you so much. The viscose is heavenly. I think you need to send me more in different colors. But this color is the money color. I love it. Thank you so much. Thank you. So yeah, That's what I really loved about Senegal. There's just something about the place and the spirit that it carries that resonated with me. Um, because I think my power is also quiet. I think so. At least I like to think so, or hope so. But I've traveled. In fact, if we talk about travel, I started traveling when I was 26 years old. So I was quite late if you think about other traveling nations or traveling cultures, which is something that South Africa wasn't for a long time. Um, my first trip, I went to Europe. I went to about 9 to 12 countries. I can't remember, but I had sold one of my properties back then, and I made a cool profit, and I booked myself on a Contiki tour. I write about it in Baked in Pain. Guys, I told you I say a lot in Baked in Pain. And you can get Baked in Pain from amandatambuza.com. So yeah, I've since been able to travel to probably on the other side of 40 something countries. Or yeah, I don't really count. I don't keep track of where I've been. But one of the things, yeah, I've been to Netherlands multiple times. One of the things that I do tend to do, which is actually what I was going to say, when I love a place, I end up going multiple times. So I'm that person that will always go back to the countries that I really love, because so many countries offer so many different things. I've never been to the US, by the way. So when I say this to people, they get shocked. It's just not I've just felt like, these travels that I've been doing, Africa, Asia, Europe, have been, there's still so much to explore, and I haven't even like scratched the surface. And I feel like, I will eventually go to the US. My husband keeps nudging me that we need to go to the US. He loved it, and he said, I'm gonna love New York. So I think we're gonna go, because there's also so much that we also want the kids exposed to. So top 5 places I've traveled, definitely Senegal, as I said. Italy, I love Italy. It's just, wow, I love Italy. I love the fact that they are loud and colorful, and the food. I mean, you realize how much South Africa is influenced by Italian cuisine, because when you're there, it's like you feel like you're at home, and the weather is quite similar to ours. But I only ever go to these places in summer, so I don't know the winter. I don't want to talk about it because I will not do it. As a result, skiing trips in this house is not something that I encourage, but I may not be able to avoid it for much longer. So yeah, I travel. I go to different places. But one of the so I said Senegal, Italy. I loved being in Monaco. Let me say the south of France and Monaco was really one of the most pleasurable trips I've taken. Pleasurable, there's such a word. But I had it was my 35th birthday, and I've always wanted to go to the south of France. And I told my husband, we are going to the south of France and Monaco, so let's go for my birthday. But then he had landed a new client, and he had, the timing was just off. So I said, okay, sure, I'll see you when I come back. So I went. I think he kind of kept asking me years after. He's like, so baby, you really went to the south of France without me? I'm like, yeah. My life carries on, whether you can come or not. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed one of the things I've had to learn in my life, and you guys have heard me say this quite a lot, is around being comfortable with money. In fact, it's funny that was the clip we posted today on Vastly Sage. And Monaco is the place I really wanted to go to, because I wanted to immerse myself in a country or a municipality that is so wealthy. I spent a lot of money there, guys. I even went into the casino. I dressed in this beautiful little black number, walked in there. You're not allowed to take photos. I sat there because I pictured James Bond, you know, that scene at the casino. I went in there, had such a wonderful time. I didn't stay for long because my money didn't go very far. Walked out of there, sat, you know, I sat in that precinct. I had the most expensive cup of coffee I ever had in my life, and I spent a lot of money on champagne there, and I just chilled and watched people, watched Bugattis, watched every single wealthy fantasy you've ever had. I sat there and watched it, and I absolutely loved it. And I'm in south of France. I got to visit, you know, quite a bit of the wine region, so I love going to remote places as well, and just like, and I like just being there. You know, I don't care whether I always feel like I belong to these places. So yeah, that was my other one. And why do I love Italy? I already said that, but you know, Portofino was also one of the places I wanted to visit, and I got to visit it in Italy. So Italy for me holds a very special place. But also a lot of I've been to Florence, yes. So when I say Italy, it's right across. And then I have so I went to Portofino, Santa Margherita, been to Florence. Florence was also a solo trip. It was amazing. I went to one, you know, they've got these amazing factory outlets of all these designer places. It's not factory outlets, to be honest, it's just outlets. I shopped quite a bit and then forgot the whole thing in the hotel. I was just like, I went and bought so much Gucci stuff. At the time, I liked Gucci stuffs. I don't anymore because everyone is wearing them. So, sorry guys, I'm throwing a bit of shade. It's so unnecessary. So anyway, I ended up forgetting my entire shopping bag there. And when I got home, I was like, ah. But that was so lovely. That's where I actually finished writing Baked in Pain. I finished it in Florence. And that was back in 2018. Yeah, so there's so much I love about Italy. So I've mentioned 3 places, and I know I said Monaco and south of France. I'm just you know, pulling them together. And then we loved Thailand for a very long time, and then we stopped because I think Thailand is like that. You love it because it's such a cheap holiday, and you can have like the best at such a little like amount. Last time we went, in fact, it was now in 2019. We came back 2020 mid-January. That's where we celebrated my husband's birthday. So but then I think we decided, okay, I think now we've done enough of it because we've been going back but it was really special because we went to Singapore first and we showed the kids where daddy proposed. It was so cute. My husband is so romantic, guys. He puts me to shame, honestly. But luckily it's not a competition. So that was nice. I love Singapore too, but let me not add it to the list. I love it, but you know, I also love other places just as much. South Africa is still for me, and I'm not trying to be politically correct at all. South Africa is a stunning country. We've been throughout the country. It's amazing. It's always a great option. And then so that's I've lost count now. But I also love Switzerland is one of the countries we frequent the most. So France, Switzerland, and Italy are countries that we go to quite often because they offer so much. And yeah, so but I've traveled quite a bit solo and with the family. So there's I think the beauty of what South Africa offers is every single thing you can possibly want. You know, you've got the 5-star, literally sometimes 7-star game drives and game lodges. So you've got the bush, you've got the countryside, you've got the beach. You just have so much. You've got the mountains. You've got there is so much to offer. I cannot pick a favorite spot in South Africa because everything is just so wonderful. But I mean, the countryside is my other home. So in Dalstrom, yeah, my other home. The moment I have money to build. For now, we just hire houses there. we know the owners, so we hire houses that they hire out, and then we stay there. And then we keep thinking, oh, it would be nice to start building and finish. Then we can stop hiring people's houses. But that dollar is low. I mean, we've still been recovering from building this house. The other day, Mpumi and her family visited us on Saturday. And, because they're renovating, so we were talking about our process and how we how long it took us, the process, they're just the way we've done it. Or somebody's living in Dubai. Dubai is my son's favorite ever. Dubai and Maldives. Yeah. That anyway. I love the shopping. I haven't been to Nigeria yet, no. So anyway, I was telling Mbumi about, our process and how long it took us, and she was like, no, why did it take so long? One of the things we agreed to was we're not gonna borrow money to build the house or renovate. So we literally did it every month. And when the money wasn't there, we stopped. That's why it took so long. And we were quite strategic about how to do it. So we compartmentalized the project. And it was, you want me to have a session about my renovation experience? Yeah, I can do that. I'm having it now. So it took quite a while because we were pacing ourselves based on how much money we had to do it. So I say it's literally like, your grocery shopping, but your grocery bill is like really high, like so high. That was our building process. And there were months where we just didn't have the money and we would stop. And now we talk about it and we look back and we're like, we had no money for such a long time. But when you look at the outcome, when you look at the final product and you say, wow, that was worth the sacrifice. Because now we don't owe the bank for the renovations that we did. We just now, look back and be so grateful that we made that decision. So sometimes, you have to be patient to see your dreams unfold. In fact, I think dreams really require a lot of patience and being willing to take a step back if you need to, instead of just rushing the process and rushing everything. So one of the things I say to people who buy old houses that they will renovate, live in it for a while. So make it livable and live in it, especially if you have a family. You need to find what your rhythm is with your family. So what is your living style? What is your ways of living? And the space must support that. It's pointless trying to fit your lifestyle into a home that you've now spent a lot of money renovating, but then it ends up not working for you. So the layout of the home, for me, a home is all about energy, the flow of the energy, the spaces must speak to your family life or your lifestyle. So if you like to entertain, you want open spaces, you want outdoor areas, you want, whatever you want, whatever supports your lifestyle. So don't rush the process because you are under pressure to have a beautiful house. I mean, we lived through dust and concrete. But when I say dust, I don't mean just a little bit of dust. I mean like serious dust for a very long time. And there were times when we didn't have bedrooms and we'd sleep in the lounge, put a mattress down there. There were times when I didn't have a kitchen for a good 4 months. you know. And my husband and I are also those people, though. We'd be like, I think we should destroy that wall and move it there and move it there. Let's move the kitchen from this corner and make it the center of the house. And you're like, sure. Nobody's there. Between me and him, we don't hold each other back. We're just like, oh, that's a great idea. Let's try it. And if it doesn't work out, oh, okay, let's fine tune it, you know. So we never had, and I know one of the things people say when couples are building, they always say that, oh my gosh, you know, that's when you're gonna get divorced. People, I know, we know people who got divorced because of a building project. And I'm like, yeah, I really think there were issues there anyway. Because yeah, it's stressful, but I think if you go about it as a unit and as a team, and respect each other's opinions, even if you don't agree with it, it's his house just as much as it is my house. So if I want, okay, great. So yeah. Sorry, it just paused for whatever reason, but yeah. So for me, it's about the fact that you can take your time and pace yourself through your own project, and don't be under pressure to, because other people are doing it and their homes are looking amazing. Just stick to your rhythm, and your rhythm is you don't want to have this nice house but you resent it because you've got so much debt. So try and do what's comfortable with you. Do what's comfortable with you. And I'm not saying don't borrow, because I mean, not all of us have money lying around to do these projects, but work within what you've got. And it might mean sacrificing quite a bit for a period of time. But when you look back on it, really there's no greater investment than your home and your children's education. I just need to add, it's a grudge purchase for me, but okay. Don't tell the school I said that, but I think they already know. But yeah, so it's about really settling into your own rhythm, and understand that it's not a competition with anybody but yourself. But I always look at, you know, the couples and the process that we went through was, we tackled the project as though it was this fun project, this fun thing that we're doing, we're building together. I mean, we've had houses before together, but this was just like, there was something special about actually putting down these roots and calling this our home, and the kids will call this their ancestral home, you know. And we went through the process, and we pulled the kids together as well, and they got involved, and we did what felt right for us, you know. So yeah, that's what I'll say on the renovation project. So Mpumi was like, I feel like you've let me down so much. I'm like, what happened? Says, you didn't tell me this thing was so hard. I was like, I think I did, but even if I had told you, you wouldn't have stopped anyway. So so you know, it's just take your time. And the problem with renovation is that you think you're gonna do just one part and one wall and one section, and then once you've done that section, everything else looks so dated. So you end up literally, you just never stop. And the truth is that once you have a home, you probably shouldn't stop. But when I say shouldn't stop, you do the big stuff, and then the rest is just maintenance. But I think couples who go into projects together must really be clear about how you're going to handle stressful times, especially if the two of you or one of you struggles to handle stress. I think my husband and I have the ability to cope with stressful situations. So in a way, we met each other in our strengths. And there's probably, I mean, I didn't leave my house when we were renovating. Guys, some of the things I lived through. But for me, it didn't even bother me one bit, because I wasn't born into money. I wasn't born into flashy things. So it's not like suddenly sleeping on the floor, it's this like horrendous thing for me. No, I grew up sleeping on the floor all my life. I think I only started sleeping on a bed when I moved to varsity. I was 18 years old. So sleeping on the floor was just like at least here I had a mattress. Before I'd just sleep on istamba, grass mat. So for me, it's like I'm not a stranger to hard times. So in a way, I think it helped. But my husband would tell me he's definitely a stranger to hard times. He grew up soft. But somehow I think that the fact that the project was so much fun for both of us and we grew to really know each other even more. I think the only time we probably had an irritation with each other was a particular window that he put in. Well, it was the window and the door, and they were misaligned. And I may have used words that were not really kind in terms of how it looked, and he took it personally. And I was like, but I'm sorry, but I'm not gonna have my house looking like that. So yeah. Anyway, the point is that, listen, go with your own rhythm, and it doesn't matter how long it takes, as long as you're focused and know what you need to do. But take your time and let the space speak to you, and let the space and do your research. I mean, we used to watch so many programs, but also because we're quite well traveled, so we take inspiration everywhere we go. And a lot of what we also found in the Scandinavian countries was inspiration that we added to the home. We added a lot of South African and African contemporary experience. But to me, this home is a modern farmhouse. I live in a farmhouse. Nothing in this house must be perfect. In fact, the more raggedy something looks, the more I love it, but in a modern setting and in a very contemporary setting. And no one must come to my house and feel like, oh my gosh, they can't spill a drink, or the kids can't drop a chip, or can't drop their yogurt. I really like, you drop it on my expensive rugs, yeah, sure, we wipe it off. They get better anyway, the more usage they get. So yeah, I don't like clean looks. I love character, and this home is a representation of our character, our personalities. We see ourselves in everything. And every time people get here, they're like, this is so different. It's not, unlike anything they've seen before. That's because we didn't go and copy somebody else's house. I mean, I've had people who've seen my house on either Top Billing or the Insider SA come and it's on YouTube. They go to our architect and say, I want a house that's exactly like Amanda's. And the architect is like, but you won't be able to get that, because that house is quite specific to them. As specific as it is, the accolade is that anyone can live in it and enjoy it. This is why other people want a similar house. But I mean, the corrugated iron throughout this living space is in fact, we've used it quite a lot around the home. And that is inspired by my upbringing and when I lived in shacks. So I always want to feel grounded. I want to feel reminded of where I've come from. But the reminder now is on my terms, Now I'm not struggling. Now I got me some money, and I'm living in this shack on my terms. So it's and it's an element I brought in that my husband didn't quite get at first, but he respected that it's something that meant something to me. So but after we did it, he was like, oh my gosh, I didn't even imagine that, and it's really one of the things we love the most about this home. So I feel like I'm cocooned in a bit of my history in my past. And for me, that is so important, because I come from a background of not much history. And I say history, not much family history, not much of anything. I don't know anything about my life before I just grew, I don't know anything about my father's side. I don't know anything. It's like he never existed. I know nothing about my mother's side, and I don't have any roots in terms of that. And somehow the roots that I've been able to grow are roots that I've crafted, are roots that I've chosen. and are roots that I believe are quite important for my story as well as my children. My children will never be in a position where they say they know nothing about their mother's history. And I make sure that it's everywhere. I make sure that it surrounds us. So yeah, I've said a lot, and that was all sparked by just one question. I have no idea how I ended up there, but yeah, that's so in everything I do, I do things that and it's not really about whether you have a lot of money or not. It's about what is meaningful for you, what matters for you. Then you put your resources that you have into that. No, and I think the beauty of and this is probably what I like to I keep emphasizing in my book Baked in Pain and A Brave Girl Named Aya, as well as all of the things I do in my work. I keep emphasizing that you may not have had the option to choose your past or your circumstances, but there comes a time when you are fully in control and fully in charge of it. It would be a shame for me to let my past ruin my present. It would be such a shame if I let it destroy my future, whatever God gifts me as a future. So it's enough that it took my past, it took chunks of my past, but that's what it is. It's the past. It's the real work is making sure that it doesn't control me in the negative. The real work is making sure that I can use chunks of my past to heal myself and those around me, and those who find something in my story that they relate to, and maybe they were just stuck somewhere, and if they can just untangle themselves from whatever situation and whatever mindset they might be carrying as a result of their pain or their past. So yeah, that's kind of. Jeez, I think I got very personal here today. But yeah, I'm more than happy to share what I can and the things I've learned, and my own experiences. And not most of us don't come. I mean, I told you I started traveling when I was 26 years old. The kids in the bus, because your Australia, New Zealand, China, Japan, Canada, the US, they've got a strong travel culture. So those are, when your children here start telling you about gap years, it's that thing, it comes from there. You can blame them. So I was 26, I was traveling with kids who were 18 years old, 16, 15. Actually, I think the youngest was 17 years old or something like that. And I was this old gogo, 26 years old. Did those Australian kids tease me? It was so painful. It was so painful. Listen, they teased me for many other reasons, because in these when you are a minority in a world that is that doesn't know how to handle diversity. And I'm not talking about Australia. I'm just talking about the context that we were in at the time. I was the only black person in this bus of, I think there must have been 64 of us or something. I wasn't just black. I was also old. I love putting myself in tough situations. But you know what? I dealt with it in the best way I could. I enjoyed myself. Some of them were scared of me because I confronted them with some of the nonsense. And I think I also wanted to just like... But yeah, so it was but one of the countries I love to go to is Switzerland. But I love to go to Switzerland first, then go to Italy, because what happens in Switzerland is everything is so quiet. Everything is quiet, it's perfect, it's manicured, everything is just like, even the people, you're not sure if they're real or... when they talk, you can't even hear that they're saying something amongst themselves. You're like, did they just say something to each other? And then you pop into Italy and it's like taxi people screaming at each other, throwing things, and like it's just loud and chaotic, and there are potholes in Rome. I love it. So anyway, those are the things that matter to me. So sometimes I just think we spend so much time worrying about things that are not going to contribute to our legacy, or worrying about things that don't really matter. You know, when you're in Switzerland, you feel like you are the loudest person in the entire country, and that you think they look at you like, actually you always feel like you are sticking out because you're so loud. And I'm like, yeah, we are here. So I think don't be afraid to boldly tackle whatever your dreams are. And it doesn't matter whether you're in the minority or not. I mean, one of the favorite countries, one of my favorites that we visited was Finland. In fact, we did the whole Scandinavian region. And then we went, there are postcards that I used to see. And there's this particular place in Denmark. It's pronounced Niaoun, and it's these picturesque houses. If you think woke up in Cape Town, that kind of color, those colors, and like by the rivers there's like a river in front of it. You catch a boat, you know. I saw that on a postcard once, and I was like, I have to find myself in this place, and I've been. So I mean, we've been to Denmark, Norway, we went to Sweden, and then from there we cruised to Helsinki, to Finland. Which black person goes to Finland just for vacation? It was amazing. We even saw those Viking people, you know, those Viking people on the cruise. It was so fascinating. I think my husband was most fascinated because he loves that series, Vikings. And we just absolutely loved it. We went there. I mean, we were tasting moose balls, yeah. You know, like you make meatballs. Yeah, they were made from moose meat. And it was just so incredible to be in a place where typically you're not expected to choose it as a destination. But I'm like, why not? It's on the map. So if it's on the map, it means we're all allowed to go. You know, it means you can pick if that's where you want to go. So I don't think you should ever hold yourself back because you're gonna feel uncomfortable or anything like that. And we found, you know, we didn't have any issues because people are always like, yeah, Scandinavian people are so unfriendly. You know, those are just cliches that people keep painting others with. So I really enjoyed it. There's a delay in what this and the words are not aligned. You tell me. If they're not, I can always drop and come back in again. So does it sound like I've said something and then there's an echo? Yeah, we did. We went all the way to Finland. It was amazing. And yeah, we've should I? All right. So if there's a delay, I'm gonna drop and come back in, okay? Because I don't want. I mean, I'm gonna be laughing here, and then you're like, what is she laughing at? I'll just drop and come back, okay?